Bombastic
turn in your head,
side eye.
Criminal, offensive, side eye.
Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going? How you doing?
Fantastic.
How you going?
How you doing, Rose?
I'm doing good. How you guys?
I am just riding off the high of the fact that we booked our
Oh my God.
Bali accommodation, guys.
Okay, so basically, you guys know that me and Daniel, we're going to do a trip to Thailand and to Bali, and you guys can come along.
Mm-hmm.
Those trip links are linked below, and that's happening in August.
Yep.
Anyways,
Coming up
but
soon.
we're staying like a couple days after the Bali trip.
Yeah.
So we just booked the accommodation for that. So
Yes.
like after the actual trip ends, we're going to stay a few more days, and that's going to be very fun.
I'm
So,
excited.
yeah, and Bali, the hotels look amazing.
Oh,
so we booked a really
stunning.
nice one.
Yeah.
But anyways,
We'll do some Instagram stories and shit. We'll show you guys. Don't you worry.
but yeah, if you guys want to come to Bali or Thailand, make sure you check out the links in the show notes or description.
Yep.
And you should come along because it's going to be so fun.
We're pumped. We're ready to go.
It's a vegan trip.
Yeah. August can't come soon enough.
Oh, God
And
damn.
actually, it's pretty soon. Like literally,
It's actually pretty soon.
it's like 2 months away.
It kind of is, yeah, because it's almost June.
July.
Oh my God, I'm not prepared.
I know.
I'm never prepared.
I know. Like literally a story of my life, a story of your life, Rose. Every
say
time I
this
speak to
every
you,
time.
be like, oh, goddamn, I'm not prepared. Oh, goddamn, this flight. Like, you know, we also leave for Houston in like
I know,
a
I'm
week.
never prepared. So we're going to Houston as well to visit our friend.
Yeah.
So I'm not prepared for that. I'm also not prepared for Italy, which is happening in June.
And you're also not prepared for Asia.
Oh, goddamn, Daniel.
When you is prepared, Rose?
I'm
Please
never
tell me a time when you're
prepared.
prepared.
I don't know. My life be a mess, and I don't think it ever going to change.
Goddamn, goddamn, you got so much going on, Rose. I can't even keep up these days.
Anyway, guys, welcome back to the SaVeg Podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys want to check out our Patreon, you get bonus episodes every single month.
Yes.
And you get ad-free content, and you get every episode a week earlier than everybody else. So if you guys want to support us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. And it starts as little as $3 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$3
Anyway,
a month, guys.
should we jump into the stories?
Oh, goddamn.
Are you not ready?
He is, but
Why are you wearing a sweater? It be summer outside.
I know. I don't know. I was like, because like the office I work in is like a little bit cold.
Oh.
So like
it's like literally 25 degrees outside. I think ish.
Damn.
It's like very hot.
You gonna walk me part way home, Rose?
I will.
Goddamn
I need to get some steps.
You definitely do.
All right, guys. So we're going to talk about some stories.
So this is actually a really sad story. So I guess that there's like this
All right.
Rose.
I'm trying to get comfortable here.
I don't know what Rose is doing over here. Okay.
I'm trying to get comfy. I don't want the full overshirt on, but I also don't want to fully not
Be
have
naked?
it on. So
Looks like you're dressing for Asia already, Rose.
God damn, Daniel loves to slut shame the way I dress.
I
He
think
loves slut shaming.
No,
me.
you know what? It all goes back to our fateful trip in Croatia, which I thought was so fucking funny.
Which one?
When we went and like they wouldn't let you in the
Oh,
restaurant.
because I was wearing like a swimsuit.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's just rude. Okay, well
know.
we were like literally on an island.
Yeah.
We were in. Was it Hvar?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think so.
We were on like a Croatian island, and then we had just gone to the beach, and then we were trying to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was
you
outside.
were wearing like shorts. You were wearing like
I was
jean
wearing shorts. It's not like I was wearing a full-on bikini situation, but I guess like they don't want any bikinis.
No.
So they were like, please cover up. So they like gave me a towel.
And Rose had to wrap this towel on her, and she was so angry.
I just like, I just believe in the freedom of, expressing your, yourself.
You were like, this
with
is
either
slut-shaming.
clothing or lack of clothing.
Yeah.
And I choose lack of clothing.
I also have to say another interesting experience. We digressed for a minute on that trip. Was do you remember when we did that boat trip from Hvar and we went island hopping?
Yes.
And we stumbled upon that nude beach and we didn't realize until we got there and all of a sudden.
Oh, and then I went nude.
Yeah. Then we were like, no, but like literally, guys, we were like, we're on this nude beach and like we went swimming. And at first, I guess we were just talking to each other a lot and we just weren't paying attention to our surroundings. And next thing I know, I look up and there's like a completely naked man like doing something, but kind of like bent over weirdly. And you could just see like full ass. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I started looking around and I was like, oh my God. I was like,
We're
Rose,
on a nude beach.
we on a nude beach.
And then I was like, okay, great. I'm going topless.
And
and also like everyone at the nude beaches are always like really old.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's never people that you actually want to see naked.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? People probably want to see, someone young naked.
Yeah. So you fulfilled that fantasy for them, Rose. I also went topless, guys. I took my.
Oh yeah, you took your top off.
Mm-hmm. I'll be lacking
Anyway.
to go a little bit of the exposure, if you know what I mean.
Well, apparently you wear a sweater at 25-degree weather, so
Well,
you and I are very separate, very different.
It's not that hot in here.
It's pretty hot in here. Look at me. Look at what I'm wearing and what you're wearing.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, guys.
I believe in freedom, and I like to be free from clothing from time to time.
Mm-hmm. So this particular couple, I don't actually follow them. I guess they're Instagram, or not Instagram. They're YouTube famous.
Okay.
And what had happened was, I guess the two of them had a lot of fertility issues.
Okay.
So they were trying to have kids, and like all this stuff was going on. And then basically they got like not a surrogate. They were like going to adopt these twins.
Okay.
From this woman. And the woman was lying about having kids the whole time. So like this couple like bought them like, filled a nursery. They like did a gender reveal party.
Oh my God.
And this woman was
like, she wasn't even pregnant.
No.
Why though? Is she getting paid for it? Like what's going on?
I don't know the full story, but basically it says here, obviously they tried IVF, this couple, blah, 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 blah. They found a woman claiming to be a 20-year-old university student in California who was due to give birth to identical twin girls. We were very excited, and we always dreamed of having twins. Bella was one of the couple. I guess it's Bella and Dallin Lambert, who run the YouTube channel called Della Vlogs.
Okay.
So I guess it's like their name combined.
Mm-hmm.
A relationship blog, really great idea.
Always the best idea.
Yeah.
It's always, that's how relationships flourish.
Yeah. And this is it. So I guess they met her in person as well. The lady that was like claiming, and apparently she like wore like a belly bump and like.
Okay, but this is like a phenomenon like of women pretending to be pregnant is like a huge thing.
What? Why?
Well, okay, so I don't actually know why. I think it's like it must be some kind of mental health situation. But have you heard of those true crime stories where like women pretend to be pregnant and even like their spouses think that they're pregnant, and then they find another pregnant person and then they like kill them and steal their baby? Have you never heard like these things have happened?
This is like a TV show or
no,
something.
No, this is real life, Daniel. Real life. It has happened more than one time.
Oh, God damn.
So like for example, like someone's like, oh, like they will make friends with these women, these fellow pregnant women on like Facebook or something. So they'll have like, this is why you should be wary of Facebook, okay?
Yeah.
And if I was a pregnant woman, I would be very scared of making friends because people want that baby. So anyway, they'll like make friends and then, or it'll be like, oh, I want to buy something from this person. And then, oh, they happen to be pregnant. And then they just happen to be giving birth around the same time as this person's supposed to give birth. But this person isn't pregnant. And then they like cut up, like fucking kill them and then like steal their baby.
This has also been in a lot of movies as well.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
That's insane.
I know. You remember that? Like this is like a bit of a like fantasy. Not fantasy. I don't even know what kind of. But it was in Kingdom. The Korean one where she had all those like Korean ladies like in that like she gathered all these pregnant ladies because she wanted to have a son.
Yes.
And she pretended to be pregnant, and then she was waiting to see like what any of these women had, and obviously one of them had a son. She was gonna kill them and keep the son for herself. God. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I just
anyway. So, but then I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand any of this.
No, exactly.
Because like why do you pretend to be pregnant? Like why is this a thing? But it's like a big thing. Like not everyone resorts to actually killing somebody, but there's plenty of women that pretend to be pregnant.
Yeah.
For either attention or because pregnant women get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And a lot of sympathy. So
well, it's crazy. So apparently this woman, so this is another thing too, why this couple got so upset. The woman like encouraged them to do things. Like she was like encouraging them to get their nursery ready to make her feel quote unquote more comfortable. They like, she would say things like hint at like, oh, I'd love to have like a gender reveal party, all these things. So they hosted a gender reveal party. Like they did all of this stuff. Yeah. It says the woman also encouraged them to do a gender reveal. She felt like she was going to miss out on a lot of these good things, that good and fun things during the pregnancy. So she said she'd love to be included and be part of that. And we thought it was really cool.
Okay. A few questions. Like when you go through this adoption situation, do you not have, like, does the adoption agency not do any sort of due diligence? Like this person's actually pregnant.
Yeah.
Here are the hospital records. Like, I feel like that should be a thing because apparently this happens.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It's insane.
But what is the purpose? Like, did she get money? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. The woman went as far as to speaking to the couple's adoption agency over the phone, but the couple said she would often push back for any in-person meeting. Something would always come up. She did officially agree to go to one of those appointments, and it was a couple of days before we found out what happened. The excuses she had for not going into the agency were so real and so thought out, we believe them, and we shouldn't have. The couple then received an email from another couple saying the same woman had shared videos of their gender reveal with several families, thinking they also had a chance to adopt her twins.
Oh my God.
What the actual fuck? Bella got an Instagram DM from the same person who sent the email and said she knew then it was serious. We were crushed to find out that she'd been talking to this family for 2 months. She said, I guess she hadn't exchanged money, which made it more confusing as she doesn't know what her intentions were.
I feel like this is maybe similar to other people that pretend to be pregnant.
Like,
they want the attention. They want the gender reveal. But again, we'll never understand. Yeah. But that's crazy. Yeah. And it's insane. Like, what's crazy to me is like, you probably, you must know you're going to get caught.
Yeah. Eventually. I mean, you have 9 months. You have a time period, guys. Like, there's only a certain amount of time you can do this until.
Well, this is why some women end up killing and stealing babies because they probably start the lie. I don't know if they're already thinking I'm going to kill someone for this, but they start this lie and then they, this is a lie that's very easy to be revealed to be false.
Exactly.
And then
God, our society is so fucked up.
What is wrong with people?
It's because there's like this huge importance put on having children, right?
That
like,
could be it as well.
That's why a lot of people like, and also you're right, like it's the acknowledgement, it's the feeling like I think
you're special, like you're needed.
Exactly, you're important, a contributing member of society. You're wanted. You're all of these things. Whereas as soon as you have the baby and it's gone, it's like you're no longer that.
God damn. But like not even any money was exchanged. So
I don't get. So I think you're right. I think ultimately what this woman wanted to do is she just wanted to attention, I guess.
But then why not just pretend to be pregnant and then not involve another family?
Exactly.
I'm so confused.
But also it's so weird. But
it's so weird.
Like I just I don't get. I guess I could never get behind that mindset. I just don't know.
I don't think most people understand why anyone would pretend to be pregnant. Like it's so crazy.
I know it's weird.
Like why?
Guys, can you if you're watching on YouTube, put some comments in the comment section down below.
Just go get pregnant, there's just a few things you have to do.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people struggle with pregnancy, right?
Well, she's 20 years old. I feel like, most people, like, you're 20, you're pretty fertile.
But this particular couple has fertility issues.
No, the couple does. But I'm saying the girl that pretended to be pregnant.
Oh, right.
I'm saying, why don't you just get pregnant?
Yeah.
If you want to be pregnant so bad, go get pregnant.
Exactly.
Actually, don't get pregnant because that's probably bad for the baby because you don't want some crazy person over here having a baby.
Mm-hmm. This is very
There's
true.
enough crazy people having babies. So actually, I would prefer that you pretended to be pregnant.
It's insane. It's actually insane.
I mean, I know that a lot of people that have fertility issues and also like crazy mental health issues, they're the ones that would pretend, like some of the women that pretend to be pregnant, they do have fertility issues. Yeah. So this is kind of like a little bit of a different story because I don't know if she actually why is she doing this? I don't know.
God, there's some weird shit that goes on. Like,
there's some fucking weird shit.
That this kind of, this is completely different. This isn't about faking pregnancy, but it's about, again, fertility issues. And do you remember that Netflix documentary, Our Father? Where there was that fertility clinic guy that was like impregnating basically.
So weird.
He like all of the local area.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And the whole world is messed up. Like, imagine how you would feel if you found out you had like I think when the show ended, it got up to like 95 siblings in the local area.
Oh my God.
So it's like you could like if you start dating someone, you'd have to check their history.
God damn.
You have to find out if you're related.
And like there's a big chance that you might
be.
Ew,
it was all in
so
that same
gross.
area. Yeah. Oh God. It was
that's
bad.
So disgusting. Okay, next story. Another sad one, I guess. Yes, it's a sad one.
Have you heard about this?
Well, no, I haven't heard of the update. So you guys remember Gabby Petito, the very sad situation where a young, woman was unfortunately killed by her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Yeah. And he also died later. I think he killed himself.
Yeah.
And then this is an update, I guess.
Yeah. So basically what had happened though, guys, is like, I think that if I recall, she was like a TikToker or she
was like on Instagram and stuff. She would post like travel photos and stuff.
Yeah, and show them like it really
so sad. The story's so sad.
It is really sad, and it would show the like again. This is why, guys. I think like again, I'm not taking anything away from Gabby Petito's story, but like this is why you do have to be so careful because what people put out on social media is really a filtered, like very what's the word? Contrived or
I think so, yes.
Yeah, contrived, like what they want you to see, right? So you're not going to see everything. And so you could see this like beautiful couple. It seemed like they're really in love and we don't know the backstory or what's going on behind the scenes. So it's really sad what happened. But I guess basically, so she was a blogger. So Gabby Petito's family are suing the parents of her, Brian Laundrie for emotional distress. Authorities say that the boyfriend have released there was a letter from the alleged.
Let me help you.
Okay, I'm having an issue here.
The parents of a U.S. blogger who authorities say was strangled by her boyfriend released a letter from the alleged killer's mother in which she talks about burying a body. So there was a letter that was released.
Yeah. Thank you, Rose. I don't know why I was struggling so much, guys. I'm like, what the fuck?
This is a bit weird.
Yeah.
So basically, so Gabby's parents are suing the boyfriend's parents for emotional distress.
Yeah.
Because I guess like the mother of Brian Laundrie released a letter to her son in their civil law. I'm so confused.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
What is the letter? What's on the letter?
So I guess the letter is talking about, it says the letter discusses in which she talks about burying a body, right? His parents, who have not been charged with any crime in connection with with Petito's death, had asked the judge to keep the letter out of the case.
So in the note, Mrs. Laundrie writes to her son, "If you're in jail, I will bake a cake and put a file in it.
If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags."
She wrote burn after reading on the envelope that contained the letter. So basically she wrote this letter thinking, this is before she found out that Brian was dead.
Yes.
So she wrote this letter thinking, I'm going to send it to, like, give it to Brian. Yep. And basically she's saying, if you fucking killed her, I'm going to back you up.
I'll help you no matter what.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah.
And it's like, is that the first thing that you would think if your son was potentially a killer?
No.
Like, that's absolutely insane.
I would be like, this is another thing too. I feel like, okay, not this situation, because obviously it sounds like his parents were like gonna go to all ends of the earth to help, to help him. But
what?
In the merely contained quirky references to her son's favorite childhood books. Okay, this is bullshit. But
where
anyway,
did they find the letter? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess well, it seems like a strange lawsuit. Like, it's for emotional distress.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be some level of criminal intent?
You would think.
Because, sure, she didn't actually do anything, but I guess maybe you can't charge somebody for intent.
Exactly. Well, and if there's no proof, right? Like, other than the letter, it's really hard to prove that, and again, she's saying in the letter allegedly that if something happened, she could help her son out, but doesn't mean that she did.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's kind of tough.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the issue. But what I was going to say was really messed up. I feel so bad, not so much for his parents. Obviously it's a shitty situation, but you hear about some of these, imagine your son, like you were saying, or daughter does something fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you're just I
know.
What do you do? Sad. Imagine you're Jeffrey Dahmer's parents.
Oh God.
Or Ted Bundy's parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of these crazy. I'm not comparing, this gentleman to those guys, but I'm just saying imagine your son or daughter, does kill people or does kill their partner or whatever, and
that's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane.
Well, usually, not that everyone that has fucked up parents is going to end up being a killer.
Yeah.
But usually, you can kind of see that they're also messed up.
Yeah.
They're not normal people. The fact that she's behaving like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clearly there's something wrong with this family.
They do say, because they were studying criminology and stuff. And obviously this isn't 100% hold true for every single person.
We're just generalizing here.
Exactly. But it's more of a
pattern.
strong generalization.
Yes. Strong patterns in, yes.
Exactly. And typically what happens is children that come from, and again, not all children that come from these homes, but a large percentage of people that are serial killers or have some kind of psychological, no lack of empathy and these kind of things, they come from like broken homes. They come from a lot of physical, sexual abuse. That's like a trend that is like true for a large majority percentage of people that do this stuff.
Yes.
So typically it's not that they're usually come from, I mean, you probably have the one-off cases where they come from a normal family.
It's very rare,
but
especially
it's so
if
rare.
especially if they're like a serial killer or like a serious offender.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of those cases, there's going to be some level of emotional like abuse, trauma, physical abuse, sexual abuse, something.
Either by the parents or family members or other people.
Yeah.
Like
not everyone that endures so much abuse is going to end up being a killer or being a bad person, but people that do end up being a killer and being a bad person, the chance that they come from a broken family is huge.
I don't know if you ever saw this this documentary. It was so fucked up.
Oh God.
On Netflix, and it was about these two brothers.
Yes, I saw it. I know exactly which one you're talking about. One of them gets into a car accident. Is that the one?
Yes. And then he
forgets, he lost all his memory.
Yeah.
And then they were twins, weren't they?
Twin
or were
brother.
they twins?
Well,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Either way, basically one of them lost their memory and like when he was an adult, a full grown adult. And then later he slowly started to learn about his past.
Yeah.
Turns out their mom has been abusing them since childhood.
Yeah.
But
not even just like abusing. It was like, well, she was like passing them around to her friends.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
It was so fucked up. And I remember when they like revealed it, they talked about it all, and they had like an emotional heart.
Oh God!
I was just like, this is so fucked up.
Oh God!
Because his brother wanted to kind of shelter him from that.
Yeah, like because like that would be a clean slate. You're like,
you forget everything.
That's kind of crazy though. Like the whole idea of memories and how you can just like hit your head one day.
That scares the fucking shit out of me. Because like, guys, this is one thing that really freaks me out is like, if you endure some kind of head trauma, whatever it might be, let's say you get into a car accident, you fall off a bike, whatever, you could alter your personality.
Actually, that's also true for like serial killers. It's either you went through emotional trauma or some kind of abuse, broken family, and or you went through you had head trauma.
Head trauma, yeah.
Head trauma is a big indicator as well, which is scary because that is like not something that you can kind of control really.
Yeah, well, and actually that's a really good point because head trauma comes up in a lot of cases as well. I don't know if you just like talking about documentaries and stuff, guys, but another one, there was a famous football player called Aaron Hernandez.
Oh yes.
Who grew up. He did have a kind of a like very strict upbringing. His dad was really strict and whatever. But he started exhibiting like very strange behavior. And I can't remember exactly what it's called, guys, but it happens with a lot of football players where they get too many concussions and it causes something to happen in their brain where like the receptors aren't working properly and it causes a deterioration of the brain. And when they scanned Aaron Hernandez's brain, it was like one of the worst cases they've ever seen. God. And it caused him to be more aggressive and more like less that rational thought that we have where stops us from picking up a gun and shooting somebody, So... and it's just our brain, it like really trips me out.
It's very delicate.
Yeah.
It's very delicate.
But also like everything that we know, the fabric of our personality is all in here.
Yeah.
So like if something happens, it could change everything.
Oh God, Daniel. Once again, guys, welcome back to the Doom and Gloom podcast.
Do not, Rose.
Where we provide you with a very positive outlook on life every single week.
Yeah, but in some ways it's amazing and interesting, but the other ways it's like, holy fuck. Like,
I know, it's terrifying to me.
Yeah, like every fabric of who you are as a person, Rose, is in your brain.
Damn, Daniel.
Your likes, your dislikes.
Damn, Daniel, be scary as all hell.
It could just change.
Well, maybe for people that have major trauma, it's better if they just go into an accident and then forget everything.
Yeah.
Start fresh.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there was a movie. It was called, oh my God, something about Henry. Like Henry something. And it was with Indiana Jones. What's that guy?
Oh,
God damn it.
Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Harrison Ford. It's a really old movie.
Oh my God, I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Do you know exactly what I'm talking? So basically this guy, he's kind of like
he's
an
a doctor,
arrogant,
right?
He's like a lawyer.
Oh, a lawyer.
So he's like this arrogant lawyer who has like a daughter and like, a wife and everything. Super rich, like very successful, but he's a little bit of a dick.
Yeah.
Doesn't spend much time with his daughter, blah, blah, blah. He's like cheating on his wife, like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Gets into, he like has a gun altercation. Somebody shoots him, like convenience store. This is like New York in the 90s or something, right? Somebody's like trying to rob the store, shoots him, and then he gets into a big accident, loses all his memory. And then so he has to relearn everything, right? And then all of a sudden he completely changed his personality, and now he's this very like kind of gentle, kind of like almost like a little child. So he has to relearn everything, and then he starts to learn about his past, and then he starts to like regret things, and then he like makes amends with his daughter.
Oh, see, I'm thinking of something else. It's
a different one.
A similar storyline. And it was like this guy, basically he gets into a car accident.
Right.
And he like, I don't know if he was a doctor or a lawyer or something. Maybe I don't know if it's the same movie, but he gets into this
Was it with Harrison Ford?
I don't know who it was with. And he gets into this car accident, and he has to like start like reconnecting and relearning again who he is. But then he actually stumbles upon like the fact that actually him getting in that car accident was on purpose. Like someone was trying to kill him because he had stumbled upon like some information.
Wait, maybe it was that.
Yeah.
Because I think there was like a little... No, I don't know.
Oh, God. We need to rewatch that movie.
I don't know.
Is it on Crave,
anyway,
Rose? Maybe I watch it tonight.
I don't know what's on Crave.
Yeah. Goddamn, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, memories. It's
goddamn.
It's very interesting.
It's delicate. It's
I
very...
know. All right, what's next? Netflix begins... Ugh.
So this is like a follow-up from the last.
Ugh.
But this is a bad thing.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because again, as Netflix begins...
You want to explain to the audience, Daniel? We are having a podcast, not just a chat.
I know. Well, sometimes I love chatting with you, Rose.
You're just not a professional podcaster. You turn in your head, side eye. Criminal, offensive, side eye.
Clearly we watch TikTok too much. I actually haven't been on TikTok for a while.
You know what? I've been getting better because I've been so busy this week.
Yeah. I'm not on TikTok. I went on TikTok like maybe 20 minutes the other day. That's it.
Oh, look at you.
It's been a while,
God
Rose.
damn. Yeah. And you know what? I haven't actually had to press the extend for many days now.
Damn, I bet your screen time's down, Rose. Maybe
it
not.
probably is. I mean, I was pretty busy. So anyway, that's the secret. Just keep busy.
Yeah. Stay busy and then stay off social media. Because you know what? Again, before we get into the story, which we'll get into in a second, guys, like the fact that we are literally on our phones so much.
It's so
actually
bad.
Disturbing.
I know. It's really bad.
Like, it's like we are literally hooked to these things, guys.
I know. It's so bad.
Like.
But also, if you're at work.
Yeah.
For like 8 hours a day, you might as well be on your phone a few times.
I mean, you might as well. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that we're like, I spend on average 4 hours a day or something on my phone.
That's actually a very low amount compared to a lot of people.
But when you think 4 fucking hours.
I know. I want to know what the average screen time is.
Ooh, Google it, Rose. I want to find out the average screen time.
For the average person.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
God dang.
Average screen time by age. Interesting. Oof. Okay. Oh, it's bad. Hold on one second. Okay. First of all, on average, okay.
What is it, Rose?
Okay. On average, children 8 to 18 spend 7.5 hours a day in front of screen. No, but that's just screens.
That's
I want to know phone screen time. Okay, wait. In young adults, phone usage is up by 60 to 80% more than pre-pandemic levels. People born in or after 1996, typically considered Gen Z, watch 7.2 hours of videos per day, bouncing from TikTok to YouTube to Netflix. The average teenager spends 7 hours and 22 minutes on his phone every day.
That is insane.
Yeah, 15 to 18, 7.5 hours. Now, I want to know, I feel like this is, adults aren't much better. Here are the general statistics. An average, well, I don't know if this is screen, just TV. I mean, if it's all screens, but it says an average American spends 7 hours and 7 minutes looking at the screen. That's bad.
That is insane.
It's so bad. I think that includes both, but still.
That's a lot of time, though.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I wonder if it would be lower in like Europe and stuff.
I think. Okay, so let's say here. What's the average screen time by country?
Oh, perfect segue.
It says South Africans led the world with the most screen time per country, clocking in at 10 hours and 4 minutes per day in January 2023.
Awesome.
On the other hand, in Japan, an average person, this is shocking. I would think it would be the opposite.
Yeah.
Japan, an average person spends only 3 hours and 45 minutes of daily screen time. I'm kind of surprised with that one. Brazil comes in basically second, 9 hours and 32 minutes.
These numbers are just shocking.
It's disturbing. Philippines, 9 hours and 14 minutes. Argentina, 9. I'm kind of shocked about Brazil and Argentina.
I know.
And even South Africa, I wouldn't expect. Do you think like Hong Kong, 6 hours and 26 minutes. Canada, 6 hours and 35 minutes.
So I'm better than the average.
I'm South Korea. I'm shocked. 5 hours and 21 minutes. You'd think it's more. My guess is South Korea and Japan. Everyone's just working too much.
They're too busy.
Yeah, they're working too much. I think that's what it is.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, because everyone is on their phones. Like I see it, but they're probably just working.
And also probably when they're at work, their boss is probably like, "Do not
exactly.
go on your phone."
Exactly. Oh my god.
It's just crazy. I
know. Anyway, so we're talking about Netflix.
Oh yeah, Netflix, guys. Okay, so we talked about Netflix before.
Yeah.
Because Netflix made an announcement about password sharing and everything. Because in the past, it was like very common. Like so many people did this, where your parents had a Netflix account and everybody, kind of.
But they allowed it to happen. Like
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you are allowed to have multiple users.
Yeah.
And you can have multiple devices. Mm-hmm. So everyone was doing that, and it wasn't like anything shady. It wasn't like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like people were taking...
And then now they're like, oh my god, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we can't afford to do it anymore, So basically, the title of this article is Netflix begins its password sharing crackdown in the US and in global markets.
I think it's already started because my parents also... I'm pretty sure we had to pay extra to get another screen.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. They've introduced page sharing now.
Yeah.
And I think I saw this too, like when I logged into my parents, because I did have my parents Netflix before. It was like, is this your primary location or something? And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And my parents don't, like, obviously they put theirs as their primary. So it's like, oh, fuck. So then I just have my own Netflix.
Right.
Like, I'll just use my own for now.
Right.
But it's just crazy. I mean...
So it's $7.99 per month for an additional membership. And that's in the US. So that's like $10 a month in Canada.
Well, and this is the thing with Netflix too, like kind of like digressing a little bit, but like their prices have like slowly crept up.
Oh, significantly.
Like, because they used to start at like $5.99.
I know.
So everyone's like, oh yeah, of course, $5.99 for Netflix. Great. And you got
now
all these great
like
shows.
Easily $20 a month.
I think it's $20.99. I think that's what
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's been around for a while, but still.
Yeah.
Man.
It's just wild. And then they keep like eventually what's going to happen though, because I think right now, at least from my perspective, so I have Crave and I have Netflix.
Yes.
I pay for both of them. So it costs me maybe like $40 a month.
Yeah.
And to me, that's still value because if you were to get cable, like even basic cable is like I don't know, $80 a month or something ridiculous.
I don't understand cable.
Yeah.
Like who is paying for cable?
People. I think a lot of people get
like
cable.
Older people?
I think so, but also
for sports.
For sports, like you get like all the sports
and clearly
channels.
we are the demographic that watches sports.
I mean, really.
So,
and I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really like watch. I mean, I watch Netflix and stuff, but I'm not like constantly watching TV.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more of a like, hey, I'm going to travel on a plane, or like sometimes when I get home, I'll be like, oh, I'll quickly put something on for like 30 minutes and then I go to bed.
Yes.
I'm not like, the thing is, I generally get home kind of late most days. And then I have to cook. I have to do other stuff. I'm not like the kind of person where I like get home at 5 from work and then I sit at my couch and watch TV for like 6 hours.
I mean, we might do that like once a week. When we're
once
like
in a blue
tired. Or when I'm traveling is probably when I use Netflix or those services most. Just because I download stuff on the phone and then I watch it, or like my iPad and then I watch it like on the plane. But like at home, like unless there's a series I'm watching that I'm like hooked on, I just I don't spend too much time watching TV. Yeah. Because we got to reduce our motherfucking screen time.
Apparently we spend too much time on our phones.
Oh, we really do.
But
we all do. It's a global problem. Yeah. Clearly. Fucking South Africans, what the hell's going on over there?
Well, think about it like this way, because I like look back to when I was in school. Like back in the day before smartphones and everything else, and we had the stupid phones or the dumb phones, whatever you want to call them. Like I barely was on my phone.
Well, it's because we had dumb phones, Daniel.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do on the phone.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But that was when life was simpler times,
Simpler times.
I miss those days.
But what did we do with our lives then? Probably nothing because we were dumb teenagers.
That's true.
Just getting drunk.
Speak for yourself, Rose.
God damn, Daniel. Did you ever play video games? Were you a video game person?
I did play video games. Yeah.
See, that was a different form of entertainment.
True. I love did you play video games or no?
Not a lot, no. Yeah. I only like Mario Kart or like
I love Mario Kart.
Or like there was like Pokemon Snap where you like take photos of Pokemon. I like that one. But I really barely played video games.
I was like addicted. Well, not
really?
addicted.
What did you play?
So I had like a couple. I liked more of like the simulator games. So like
Sims or whatever? Oh,
I
I've
love
never
The Sims.
played that. Mm-hmm.
I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, okay.
So that's when you would
Do you
like
build roller coasters?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was so cool because you would like build. I mean, obviously looking back now, I bet you the graphics. I'm sure there's a newer version, but when I was doing it, like the graphics were ahead of its time.
Right.
You know, and you basically built your own theme park.
Ah.
And you had to like plan things out. Like you had to build like where the concession was, and you build the pathways.
Okay.
And, like,
okay.
you'd have to build like the roller coasters themselves, and you could do like these really complex roller coasters.
Right.
But you had to be careful because if the roller
You could
coaster,
die.
well, one, the roller coaster could come off the tracks if you weren't smart,
Right.
and then also two, if it was too scary of a ride, no one would ride it, and you wouldn't make money from it.
Oh, interesting.
So you had to kind of like balance it out, like,
Okay.
from scariness to like. Anyway, it was really cool. I like that one. I like Zoo Tycoon.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
I like all of the like tycoon games.
So where you like kind of build stuff.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I love the building ones, like Sim City.
Okay.
Those ones. Like
Okay, yeah.
That was my jam.
I
back in the
literally
day.
never played.
I was on
You know,
them a lot.
I really liked Neopets.
Oh.
I was such a Neopets user.
I could see that.
I don't know what that means,
I don't
but
know.
I feel like it's an insult.
It's not an insult, Rose.
Do you guys remember Neopets? Like, am I old? It was like a website where you like, I can't exactly.
Oh, I was thinking Tamagotchi.
No,
Oh.
Daniel, that's different.
Okay.
Tamagotchi, of course. I mean, that was the thing, but I was like 10 when that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So Neopets is like this website where I can't remember if you like buy pets or like you have pets, and then you have like a storefront where you sell like items. Oh my God, it was so addictive. And then like people would buy items and you collect points, and you can buy things from other people, and then you play games to get more points. I can't remember, but it was like so addictive. I like loved it.
God damn, Roses.
So basically, we all wasted a lot of time just
True,
looking at
just doing
screens.
other things.
I know, instead of just like meeting people and
I know.
talking.
This is the thing. I feel like our social like skills and everything is like dying.
Oh, it's already dead. It's fine. We'll just have relationships with robots and AI. Have you seen that movie? It's called Her. Is it Her or She? The one with Joaquin Phoenix, and he like falls in love with like an AI
I
robot.
haven't seen that one, but I saw another one,
What did you see?
which was called. What was it called? Basically, I'll tell you guys the premise. The premise, okay, and it's about AI, and basically, this guy, can't remember if he wins a competition or he works at this company, and he gets to like meet the CEO of the company. And the CEO lives in this like really bougie house, like really far in the like woods or something.
Okay.
And the CEO has been like practicing with AI or
Okay.
like building all this different AI. And he had created like a female robot.
Okay.
And he basically was like, I want you to be here for like a month. I want you to interact with the robot. I want you to become friends with her, whatever. And she was like locked in like a room, this robot. And basically, I'm not going to tell you the premise of the story. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
Okay.
It is so good.
God, you need to figure out what it's called, Daniel.
I'll tell you after. I promise I will.
Okay.
Remind me.
Okay.
But
Anyway.
yeah, it's actually like I think you'll like it because
Okay.
it's a weird like twist. I don't know. It's,
okay.
It's so well done.
Where'd you watch it? On the Flicks of Net.
It might be the Flicks of Net, or it could be on the Cravation.
Okay.
One of the two, guys, on the Flicks of Net or the Cravation.
Anyway, so basically, Netflix, they're cracking down.
They're cracking down. They're charging out the yin yang.
But maybe we should just embrace it and go out into the real world and talk to people.
Cancel your Netflix. Cancel
God
your
damn, Daniel.
Cancel your Tamagotchi.
Cancel-
Cancel your what was it? The
Neopets.
Let's get outside, guys. Let's embrace being outside, meeting people.
I know, but what about in the winter when it's
things.
cold and we just want to stay inside?
Well, it's not cold in all countries, Rose. Just in the godforsaken hellscape that we live in.
Let's see here. Oh, I heard of this one. Yeah, this is a big one. So, a TikTok model made viral videos of her grandmother's choice to die. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have heard, but basically her grandma, I guess, has a terminal illness. Okay. And she decided to basically seek euthanasia to end her life. So basically like what is it called? Medically assisted suicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she basically had her grandma on her TikTok and kind of like, is now, I guess, raising awareness for euthanasia and the right to die in dignity, I guess.
I didn't know it's legal in Canada.
Yeah, it's legal. I think it became legal. It wasn't too long ago.
It says 2016, I think.
Oh, I mean, which is insane to me.
Legal for people over 18.
I can't believe it took that long.
Since 2016, yeah.
I just can't believe it took that long to legalize assisted suicide.
I knew it was legal in like Sweden or somewhere
There's
like
certain
that.
countries. There isn't enough countries where it's legal.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have to travel to do it, which is, in my opinion, it's ridiculous.
I know this is a tough one because there's a lot of people.
What are your thoughts on euthanasia?
Well, I think like obviously in this situation, like her grandma gets diagnosed with a terminal illness, right? Like she got terminal cancer. She's given a certain amount of time to live in general, right? But you have to remember, and again, I don't want to discredit certain things because there was a movie about this. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was
was it The Love Story?
Yes.
The guy that was a paraplegic?
Yes. So there's a kind of a controversy, and we can talk about that one in a minute because that caused a lot of controversy. But basically, I feel like people should have the choice in terms of like if they are faced with like a terminal illness or something like this. But then I think there's something to be said about people taking it too lightly, right? Because you hear about people not taking it too lightly, but you hear about people sometimes that try to kill themselves, like suicide attempts.
Plenty of people kill themselves.
Yes, they do. Yes. But like there's a lot of people that do suicide attempts and maybe they like regret it or they try to like stop it or, you know, midway, right? Like, I've heard of a story of somebody that I knew personally, but this person had tried to kill themselves with too many pills. And I guess they just regretted it afterwards and tried to get to the hospital and it was too late, you know? So things like this happen and I just don't, I feel like sometimes people can get into a dark headspace where they think that this is their only option. Again, I'm taking this away from people that have like terminal illnesses and stuff.
Yes.
So I guess, what am I trying to say? It's like, maybe there should be, I think that there probably is, there's certain criteria that
I don't think they give it to everybody. I don't think they're like
oh,
you want to kill yourself, great, let's do it. Like there are definitely checks and balances. They're not letting everyone do this. I might have a controversial opinion. Like I get what you're saying. I get all sides of the story. I think first of all though, at the end of the day, this is your life. You did not choose to be on this earth. And I know that sounds really fucking dark, but
goddamn the doom and gloom podcast, guys.
Like you didn't choose to be on this earth. This is your life. Okay. You have autonomy over your own body. If we believe that we have freedom over our own body, you know, whether we just feel very uncomfortable because that is so sad, right? Obviously the idea of somebody wanting to take their own life is so sad because we, you know, naturally we fear death. Naturally we don't want to die. But at the end of the day, if we believe in freedom of choice, why, like it, I think it's insane that we, you know, force people to live basically like, you know, and again, I get it. Like we should try to help people. Absolutely. I agree. But at the end of the day, this is everyone is entitled to make that choice themselves. That's my very controversial opinion.
No. And I agree with most of that. I you know, and I think too, it's like, imagine like, and I can't imagine this, but like, let's just say, you know, we had some kind of terminal, you know, crazy illness or something where our quality of life is deteriorated to a point where it's like, it's really from our perspective, like we just don't want to continue on.
Well, some would argue that you don't even have to be in that terminal illness situation. Because again, you should have the freedom
to choose that.
To choose. Sorry.
This is where going back to that movie, I think it was called About Her or no, oh God, Me Before You.
Me Before You. Yes. I actually read the book as well. Yeah.
And the reason it caused so much backlash, especially in the
paraplegic
community, is they felt like the message that the movie and the book conveyed is like, if you're faced with that, your only option to have a good like you can't, basically they're saying the movie portrayed as like you can't have a good quality of life when you're in that situation,
right?
And that your only option is to kill yourself.
I think I understand from the perspective of the paraplegic community, they are probably thinking they don't get that much representation on media. So of course, the one movie that shows a paraplegic person and it shows him in this like state where he doesn't want to continue to live and you know, he's going to do this assisted suicide. I can understand their perspective and why they feel that way because they want, it's like if you're, you know, a gay person and the only representation you get is like this really negative, whatever.
Someone killing themselves or whatever.
So obviously I totally get like where they're coming from, but I also understand, you know, from the story's perspective, obviously this man, because I don't know if you guys haven't seen the movie, basically it portrays this like young man that used to have this like really exciting, adventurous life where he would travel and he was like living for, you know, all these adventures and now he's paraplegic. So it's his choice that he made. So I get both sides. I get it.
And again, to be honest, like again, I don't want to throw any shade to the paraplegic community. And I think there's a lot of people that, you know, are able to live and have a great life that way. I can see also from this perspective of him though, like the guy that in the movie, like going from one extreme, having this like such a vibrant life to literally having to have people like wipe your ass.
Right.
And still be mentally compos mentis. Like it would be so hard. Like I even just think of myself, like I don't think I'd ever want to assisted suicide, but you never know. Like if I'm in such a way like he was, I'm just like, would I want to continue life that way?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think we should have a choice if we want to or not.
It's like, I believe, again, I know it's very uncomfortable because we have family members, we have friends, like we don't want to have people that we love, you know, leave. But I think from an ethical perspective, I don't think we should be forcing people to live on this earth if they do not want to live.
Exactly.
Like at the end of the day, it's freedom. Like you're supposed to be free. We lie to ourselves and say that humans have freedom when really the ultimate thing that we should be able to decide whether to live or die, we don't have that freedom because technically suicide is illegal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not really supposed to kill yourself. Otherwise, like they wouldn't let you do this.
Well, exactly.
Or they would let you do this in every country.
It would be fine. You'd be like, whatever. You're right. Yeah. You're kind of like, you know,
it's like if you're going to die, if you're going to kill yourself, you have to do it in a way where you don't do it through medical intervention.
Yeah.
So that makes it even harder, right? Because again, I'm not saying we should kill ourselves or like allow people to kill like, but what I'm saying is it's like, you know, why are we forcing people to live on this earth, especially when we've created this earth and made it so difficult for a lot of people at the same time. And also there's terminal illness and all of these things. And, you know, especially when they're sick like this.
Yeah.
And they know that they're going to die and they know it's going to be painful and they know that there isn't really much left. And this woman is like 80 something years old.
Yeah. She's had a good life.
She's had a good life.
Yeah. She lived her, like, you know, if you live to like 80, you've lived like your life expectancy of people. And
over
like,
the life expectancy.
Exactly. Like I think average life expectancy for guys is like, I don't know, 70 in Canada or something, or 78 maybe. So like you've lived a full life. And it's like, you're right. I do feel I am on the camp of like, we should at least have the choice.
Yes.
You know, whether or not I agree like about if people are doing it, that's another story. If I'm going to do it, that's another story. But it is good that we have that choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we just feel very uncomfortable as human beings to even think about it because obviously it's so sad. Yeah. You know?
But I think the big thing is it's not just about it being sad, which it is, but I think it's also the unknown. I think it's like,
it's the unknown for the person that decides it, not for people that.
No, I'm meaning about death itself.
Yeah.
Why people are like kind of scared of death is because we don't know what happens after death.
But then why do we care if somebody else decides to choose that path of the unknown? We shouldn't. Like at the end of the day, again, it should be your choice. Yeah. Even though it's fucking sad. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, but like that's kind of my controversial take. Yeah. God damn, Rosie, be controversial as hell. We gonna get canceled? God damn it. I don't know. People gonna get mad at me. God damn it. This. Am I wrong? Tell me a rebuttal. Like, am I wrong? At the end of the day, you have freedom. You did not choose to be on this earth. Somebody else chose that for you. Yeah. So if you want to take away, like, that's the ultimate freedom, is it not? Like, that's so fucked up, right? Like, and trust me, I got it. Yeah. I'm scared of death just as much as everybody. But I think like there's actually a lot of philosophical discussion about this. Yeah. You know, this idea that some people, you know, like the people that are like anti-natalist, like people that think that having children itself is unethical. Yeah. One of the arguments is that, you know, like people did not choose to be born. So, you know, anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole anti-natalist stuff, but like basically people did not choose to be born. Yeah. But we were just put on this earth and, you know, like at the end of the day, again, like it's not up to us, like other people to decide is his life worth living. Yeah. It's up to that person to decide that. I think so. Yeah. I think we should create an environment where people want to live and I think we should help people. And yes, you're right. A lot of people might regret it and so on and so forth. Yeah. And it's obviously like something that you don't want to regret because like, you know, they say it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem or something like this. Well, I think the big issue is, and we're seeing this more and more, like,
And honestly, like, it does scare me, and I think it's only going to get worse. Again, doom and gloom podcast.
Oh God, you
coming
guys,
in
I'm
here
so
again.
sorry.
No, but you know, we're reading about all these things, and these are trends that are happening like at a global level, maybe to a lesser degree in some countries, but it's still kind of happening. Whereby, you know, especially we're seeing this in Canada, US, I'm sure other places as well.
Yeah.
Where we're seeing since COVID, there's been like an exponential growth in homelessness, drug use. You know, they keep calling like certain cities like cities of zombies and stuff because there's so many people that are like, you know, down and out. But part of the problem with all this is, you mentioned this, which I think is a really good point. It's like, we need to create a life worth living.
Exactly.
Right? Like, if people aren't seeing the value of like continuing and they're not enjoying life itself, which, you know, as we all become more lonely, as we all become more addicted to technology, like, we're separating from our natural being, we are naturally going to become, you know, people's depressions through the roof, anxieties through the roof. Like, these are trends that are growing everywhere, and it's not a good thing.
No.
You know, it's like we're moving away from a life that we as a society want to live to something that's really dark and not a great place, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks. And I think we're starting to see like people waking up to this, and maybe there'll be changes. I don't know. But like, it's just like really dark. And like, to bring it back to like the point about like drugs is one example. They did an experiment, and I remember this was like done, like, I think it was like in the 80s, where they experimented with rats and like cocaine and stuff. And they were saying about how like a rat would choose cocaine over food.
Right.
You know, whenever they were given the choice to the point that the rat would kill itself, right? Because it was like so addicted to the drug. But then, interestingly, they did another experiment. I want to say it was like last year or something, really recently, where because those rats were like in these cages that were really depressing.
Yeah.
So what they did is they had a new experiment where they had rats that were like very stimulated. They had a good social environment, all this other stuff. Then they were presented with the same issue or thing, and they actually went for the food. Like, they weren't
very interesting.
They weren't going for the drugs as much. And it was like, because they had a life that was like more like, you know, again,
worth living.
Exactly. So, you know, we put blame, and we're saying all these people are fucking druggies and all this stuff, but it's like, you know, they're just part of it is being a product of this like society and the way it's going.
Absolutely.
And them just like really well, not removing themselves, but just like shutting down.
Yeah.
Shutting off from society and being like, I don't want to deal.
I just think it's funny that we've created this world where it's like fucked up, and it's getting more and more fucked up. You know, we're dealing with homelessness, you know, increased depression, anxiety. We're not doing anything about it as a society. Yet we are like, oh my God, like, and then we are shocked that suicide numbers go up. Yeah. You know, we're like, oh my God, why is everyone depressed? Why is everyone suicidal? It's like, why have we created this earth like this? And then how can we expect anything, you know, anything else? Yeah. Anyway, the doom and gloom podcast. God
damn, it is an issue though. Like,
it's an issue.
And I think again, it's like we have certain issues where, you know, instead of focusing on these, the governments are focusing on like other stuff. Like, you know, like
making more money.
Exactly. Or we talk about like, you know, oh goddamn, drag shows in front of kids. Like, okay, guys, like, is that really what we should be focusing on? Or like, I don't know, you know, whether or not women have the right to have an abortion. I know. You know, like, these are issues where it's like, why are we focused on this at all when there's so many other things where we should be sitting down as a society and being like, okay, loneliness is on the rise. Yeah. Like, and some governments have started trying to come up with ways. Like, we talked about Korea. I think it was South Korea that's like giving people, single lonely people, a certain amount of money to socialize every month.
Sorry, I think it's stupid though.
Yeah, but what my point is with that though is
we need to start doing stuff.
Exactly, the government at least is trying something. Yeah. You know, like where versus here, it's like, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're starting to try, even though it might be stupid and maybe it doesn't work or whatever. But like, at least they're starting to think about these things, and they're like, shit, we have a problem here. Like, we need to start doing something. And you know, I think we're seeing Canada and US is like following in the same footsteps. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting, you know, that loneliness is on the rise, singleness, you know, less babies are being born. Like, it's all following that exact same pattern. And yet you're right. Like, nothing is being done. You know, we're not having those, you know, we talked about third spaces. We talked about a lot of places where we can start like trying to combat this stuff, but it doesn't seem to be happening because it's just like, I don't know.
Well, and everyone's just busy working. Everyone's busy just trying to stay afloat. Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, what's interesting is in the US, a lot of people die by suicide with a gun. Yeah. So that's another interesting topic because it's obviously when there's so many guns around, it's very easy to just pick up a gun and just shoot yourself.
Oh, God Damn.
It's true. I mean,
dark
and
as
this is one of
hell.
those things where it's like people don't necessarily think it through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the fact, like, guns are like it's the most efficient way, right? If you think about it, it's almost guaranteed to happen unless you shoot yourself in the foot or something.
Yeah.
It's almost guaranteed to work,
Yeah.
right? 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So if you have guns around and you happen to be a little bit depressed, you may not want to fully and you may regret it.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things where you might just do it.
Yeah.
And so, but I wonder if US has assisted suicide legalized.
I don't know.
Probably not.
That I don't
Let me
know.
Google it.
Well, and speaking, actually, I don't even know if I want to talk about this.
What
Maybe we'll
is
save
this?
it for, no, I'm going to save it for another
For
day.
another time?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like this is getting very dark very fast.
God, are we, you guys, let's talk about a happy
like,
story.
Like pragmatically, guys, we talk about this stuff, but like my thought process is like, okay, how do we as a society address some of these problems? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we're so far gone that there's no way we can come back to how we were before. But it's like the only thing that scares me, again, and I talked about this before, even with like climate change and some of the other issues, is it's a global shift, right? Like, it's not just one country doing this. You know, one country could do things to try to make it better within that country, but it's something that has to happen across the globe. And that's where I'm like, ooh, is this going to happen in our lifetime? You know what I mean? Like, this is, you know.
Anyway.
And you know what the root of all these problems is, Rose?
Capitalism.
Yes.
So I just Googled it. Physician-assisted suicide is legal in 10 U.S. states and the District of Columbia. So that's very little.
Yep.
So essentially, but let's see.
Could you travel from one state to another though, to do it?
Of course you can, but not everyone has necessarily the means.
The means, yeah.
And it probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And look, 60% of all adult firearm deaths are by suicide.
Wow.
So I find that to be quite ironic in a country that does not, for the majority of the country, does not have legally assisted suicide. And yet, guns are everywhere. People are fucking killing themselves every day. 60% of firearm deaths are by suicide.
God damn.
And they have a lot of homicide as well. So So again, so that's one of those things where it's like, oh, you want to protect the sanctity of life, yet you have weapons where people can easily make a decision
for themselves
that they may regret later, but they can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's just so widely available. So I don't believe in that. So for example, like, of course, everyone should have a right to choose whatever.
And I feel like at least with medical assisted suicide, there'd be a process whereby a doctor would go through with you.
They probably go through counseling and therapy and all kinds of shit.
Yeah. Before
it actually happens.
Whereas with gun violence or gun, you know,
exactly.
you just console yourself.
It's just there. Like, you might feel down one day, depressed.
Yeah.
And then it's there. And it's like, that's so sad, right?
100%.
Anyway, oh my God, do we have a happy story to end this with?
God damn, Roses.
Oh my God, this is so sad.
No, but you know what? I don't want to leave on this negative note. Yeah. What I want to say is like what I want to put out there, guys. Again, I don't want
it out there, Daniel.
I'm putting it out there. I would love to hear other people's thoughts on this.
Yes,
and like,
I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, how are ways that we think as a society, you guys think we could move forward and kind of combat some of these issues? I know it's a complex question. It could start as something as little as like having things in the community. You know, like, you know, for example, like, you know, I live in an apartment building. Maybe that apartment building should start having like block parties or having social get-togethers to help like bring us out of this like isolated state that we're in, you know?
Yeah. And what are you guys' thoughts on euthanasia?
Oh, God damn.
Do you think I have a very controversial opinion? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
God damn.
What do y'all think?
God damn, Rose, that'd
be
controversial as all hell.
Well, I think it's also partly due to us being so humans having the human superiority complex and thinking human life is just fucking
so
the
valuable.
Most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else doesn't really fucking matter. Let's go shoot a lion. Let's go let's go kill a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
And yet human life is so valuable that you can't even take your own without going through fucking
process.
Hoops. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I also find that to be quite funny.
Yeah.
But of course, because we're human, we're thinking, oh my God, like how could anybody want to, kill themselves?
Yeah. And on that positive note, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. It was got a little bit really dark at the end.
I know, I'm sad now. I have to go watch something funny and positive.
I know. Holy shit, guys. Next week's episode, we're going to do something really fun.
Are we? And no more doom and gloom?
We're going to turn the frown upside down. But I think that there's something positive can come out of all this. You know what I mean? I
like
do
what, Daniel? We're talking about fucking physician-assisted suicide.
Oh, damn. Okay, you know what, Rose? On that positive note, guys...
Well, I do think physician-assisted suicide should be legal everywhere. I do. Now, do I think there should be checks and balances? Absolutely.
Yes,
do I think
100%.
they need to go through counseling and like all kinds of stuff? Yes. But I do think it should be available and it should be an option put out there. I think so.
I think I agree with you, Rose, for a change.
God damn, Daniel.
I think we agree on something.
So guys, no more doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Let's go have a happy day.
We'll see. Yeah, everyone have a happy day. We'll see what next week's stories are like. Hopefully they're not quite as dark as this.
Or we'll just have to do something, we'll just have to do one of the Reddit episodes because God damn, I don't know if I can handle another doom and gloom episode, Daniel. I'd be sad.
This one probably is one of our darkest.
Oh no, I know I'm so sad. We're just literally just talking about like
Anyway.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Once again, if you guys want to check out our Patreon,
patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast.
Yeah, and what did we do for our May exclusive, Daniel?
So guys,
which you have not yet posted.
I'm posting it tonight. We basically, you guys, it will already be posted when this episode's out.
Yes.
But we talked about, we talked about things that we have absolutely fucking had it with dating, guys.
With dating.
Yeah.
So we
Great
basically
episode.
complain about dating.
Yes.
Yes. So if you guys want to listen to that is available only for our Patreon members. So patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast. Make sure you check it out. And guys, make sure you sign up for the trips if you want to come along to Thailand or Bali.
Or both.
Yeah. Check out the trip links in the show notes and description.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok and of course your favorite podcast platform.
Yeah.
And subscribe to us on YouTube and give this video a big thumbs up if you are watching on YouTube.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.